Katie Anderson here, leadership and learning coach, and today I want to talk with you about the concept of hansei, or self-reflection, and a process that you can use for deeper reflection and self-reflection that goes beyond the visible. Because it's when we really reflect on the invisible aspects that influence the outcomes we see and the results that we get, that we can really understand what adjustments we need to make. So this concept of hansei. Hansei is the Japanese word for self-reflection, and it really is the fundamental part of the study adjust cycle in the plan, do, study, adjust cycle of thinking. It's how we really learn and improve. When we do a check adjust or a study adjust or a plus delta, a debrief, or like let's do some reflection and move on to the next thing, most often than not, we are really looking at the outcomes or the actions that we observed, the visible things. But what's really important is we need to uncover those invisible aspects. So what was the thinking? And what were the assumptions that led to our thinking? Those uncovered, unconscious, unspoken assumptions that might not be aligned and really influence the thinking and actions we take or don't take that impact the outcomes. So in this example here, really how things happen is that we have outcomes over here, and then we have actions and thinking and assumptions. But how things actually happen is we have these unconscious, unthought, unspoken assumptions at a personal level and at sort of levels of an organization that influence our thinking and the plans we create and the hypotheses we have and eventually the actions we take or don't take, and that directly influences the outcomes we see. So for deeper hansei, for deeper reflection and self-reflection, we need to go backwards to really understand. We first say, what did we observe? What were the outcomes? What were the actions that we took? What was the thinking that I or we had? And what were the assumptions that we didn't even recognize that led to our thinking and the actions we took? Recently, in the My Favorite Mistake podcast, I talked with Mark Graben about how assumptions really impacted one of my recent most favorite mistakes, and how I learned that there were different assumptions among team members about the definition of quality or how we would talk about problems or things that might not be going right. And because we didn't talk about those assumptions in the beginning, we didn't act on them. So the more we can get better about making the invisible visible sooner, about identifying unconscious assumptions and talking about them, we can be better at adjusting and predicting or taking actions that are more likely to lead to the outcomes we want. So this is the deeper reflection process that Toyota uses, that I was long ago taught by one of my coaches and mentors, and it's fundamentally what Mr. Isao Yoshino talks about when he speaks about the concept of reflection and self-reflection, and also for ourselves on a personal level, the concept of hansei is to look at our own personal behaviors and actions and how that's influencing the outcomes we observe. So what's our own personal role and responsibility? What assumptions did we make? And how can then we make adjustments? And so the important part of this process, which I forgot to mention, it's not just, this is the study, but then we need to adjust. So say for next time, how are we going to get better at making our assumptions visible? What are we going to do different next time? And what is our hypothesis? What do we expect to happen? So then again, reframing that plan, do, study, adjust cycle, or as many of you know, how I like to say, start with study. Start with study, adjust, plan, do, SAPD. So here's a way to go deeper in your reflection, in your hansei, to not just look at outcomes and actions, but to make the invisible visible, what was going on in your head, and then what was going on in your head that wasn't even visible. So bring that to light, get better, improve every day, and may your hansei help you become wiser as you continuously improve as well. For more information, check out my YouTube channel, KBJ Anderson, as well as my website, kbjanderson.com, where I have a lot more videos, blog posts, articles, and more to help you get better at reflecting, learning, improving, and connecting your actions with your purpose as a leader and as a person. So have a great day. Again, kbjanderson.com.